Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be with the beautiful Farah Abdelaziz, and we are creating a fresh summer glam look with a cherry red lip. To start off the skin, I'm going to be using the Caudalie VinoPerfect Essence. This is one that I've been using on myself. I love it. It makes my skin really bright and clear. And I've been really impressed by the Caudalie range, so this is definitely something that I like to do before makeup. Next, one of my favorite primers, because it doesn't really feel like a primer, it feels more like a moisturizer. It is the Marc Jacobs Undercover Perfecting Coconut Face Primer. This goes on like a moisturizer and it just gets a bit tacky so that foundation really locks in and stays on throughout the day. And as usual, I like to massage it into the skin just like a moisturizer. For foundation, I'm going to be trying the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Golden, and I'm really impressed by this foundation. It feels very light, it goes on very smooth and even, and it has a beautiful coverage, but again, it feels very thin. And I'm listing all the brushes that I'm using. I've been listening to you guys. I know it takes me ages, but I've finally done it. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and I'm buffing it into the skin in thin layers. For concealer, I'm using the matching Too Faced Born This Way concealer. This is the new one, which is the larger one, and I'm using two shades, Natural Beige and Warm Sand. Natural Beige was a bit too light, so I went over it with Warm Sand, just to warm it up. And as always, I'm going to be blending everything in with a damp beauty blender. Making sure you have no harsh edges. You want to bounce that beauty blender all around the edges as well. And just make sure you really blend that concealer in so that it gives you beautiful bright coverage. For cream blush, I'm using the Makeup Forever HD blush in 320. I talked about this in one of my all-time favorite products on Instagram. And this cream blush is so good. It doesn't look streaky, it doesn't skip, it doesn't lift the foundation. It just goes on. It's so good. I don't know how to explain it, but it goes on like skin. It's not dewy, it's not matte. It's perfect. I heard they're discontinuing this, which I'm really sad. And I think I found an alternative, so I'll talk about it in another video. But for now, this is like incredible. For contour, I'm using the Fenty Beauty Match Stix and Truffle. I can't live without the Fenty Beauty contour sticks. They're so good. And I'm just going to contour in the usual places that I would contour. And a good tip when blending your contour is to blend it with whatever brush or sponge you're using to blend your foundation, because it already has your skin tone color, which is a foundation. So it kind of blends things much easier into the skin. And in this case, I'm using the brush that I already blended the blush with because it already has a bit of a warmth in it. And Farah is very tanned, so it really helps blend everything in seamlessly. And by the way, this is the MAC 130S brush. S stands for synthetic. It's the new range. So before they had the natural hair brushes, now they have synthetic brushes. For powder, this is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder in the shade Blondie. This powder is so good. I really love it because of the colors and the tones, because there aren't a lot of loose powders out there with that many different shade variations. I mean, we have Ben Nye, we have like a lot of different powders, but this one's really beautiful and thin. For brows, I'm using the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade number 6, and Farah doesn't need much to her brows, honestly, so I'm just filling in any tiny gaps and just brushing them through. For eyeshadow palette, I'm trying the Fenty Beauty Moroccan Spice eyeshadow palette. The first shade I'm going to use is Come and Get It, and it is a orange brown. It's like orangey brown. Yeah, it is an orangey brown. And I'm using that with the Fenty Beauty 200 eyeshadow brush, which were released with the collection as well. Focusing that on the outer corner, and I'm going to bring it slightly on the inner corner as well, kind of doing a halo eye, kind of, leaving the center free for a shimmer eyeshadow after. And I go in the shade Quicksand a lot. It is kind of a corally shade, and I use that to warm everything up and blend everything outwards. For the shimmer shade, I'm using Mirage, and to really intensify it, I'm going to spray a bit of Fix Plus, and that makes it go on so much nicer. And on top of that, I'm taking the shade Casablanca, and I'm going to pop that on top. It kind of creates an extra glittery layer. For eyeliner, I'm using my all-time favorite brown eyeliner. It is the NARS Mambo eyeliner. It's so pigmented, it's a beautiful chocolatey color, and I'm going to create a wing. Then I'm going to go over it and diffuse it with the shade Hennessy. What I want to do as well is extend her eye and lift it up. Taking the shade Spice Strip, which is a more like mauve shade, I'm going to intensify the crease just a bit. And for that, I'm using a Wayne Goss number 4 brush. Another trick I like to do is take a clean brush. This is the MAC 217S brush, and just blend all the edges together. No eyeshadow, just make sure everything is perfectly blended. Then I'm going to dip into the first shade, Come and Get It, and put it on the lower lash line. Dust any fallout with a fan brush. And then continue the steps on the other eye. And as you can see, you really want to blend everything up and outwards to lift the eye. For mascara, I'm taking one of my favorites. It is the L'Oreal Paradise Extatic Mascara, and just running that through the lashes. And then going in with individuals, I'm using the Ardell individual lashes in medium and using a bit of the short ones in the inner corners. For bronzer, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer in the shade Saddle. My friend Shader recommended this to me and I love it. It's one of the best bronzers that I've tried in a long time. I'm usually not that picky with bronzer, but this comes in so many different undertones and I really like it. I'm using that with a Makeup Forever 128 brush, which is one of my favorite bronzer brushes. It is a perfect size and shape. And what I like about this bronzer is that you can get away with contouring and bronzing at the same time. For blush, I'm going to be using my all-time favorite. You guys know this by now. It is the Wow by Wujou Blush Up, and this is in the shade Grapefruit Sugar, which is one that I haven't used before, but the one I always use is Sandy Rose. And I love all of them equally. I mean, the formula is just insane. So I'm going to put that on the top of the cheekbones, on the cheeks, a bit on the nose. This is the Sigma F37 brush. Making sure everything is blended nicely with that bronzer as well, so that they both melt into each other. For highlighter, I'm taking the brand new Charlotte Tilbury Bar of Gold palette. I think this is limited edition, but if you can get it, oh my god, it's so good. What I like about it is that you have 3 different tones, so you can use it when you're tan, when you're a bit lighter, or you can mix it on the eyes. And for a detailed application, I'm going to be using the Sigma E54 brush and running that down the bridge of the nose, and a bit on the tip of the nose and on top of the Cupid's bow and chin, and of course going in the inner corners of the eyes. Because of the formula of the highlighter, I feel like it's going to stick down to an unpowdered base much better, so I'm using a bit of Fix Plus before going in on the cheekbones. And for that, I'm using a Makeup Forever 142 brush. As you can see, the glow kind of just melts into the skin. It looks so good. Finishing off the brows with Charlotte Tilbury Legendary Brows in Clear. I'm just going to set them. And this is the ultimate lip combo. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of Shame Lip Cheat and Matte Revolution lipstick. I've been talking about this lipstick for such a long time, but I haven't shown you guys it in action. And you know how much I love nudes, but this is such a different color for me. It's like a red cherry color, but it's not bright. It's just very wearable, and you can wear this much thinner than how I apply it, by the way. You can wear it as a stain and it looks so beautiful. But I'm just going in for its full effect, so I'm using the lip liner all over, and then I'm going to be popping the lipstick on top. And to me, this is definitely one of the best lip shades that she makes. It just adds brightness and freshness to a look. To be much more precise on the edges, I'm using a Laura Mercier flat eyeliner brush, and I'm using that as a lip brush because I actually like using eyeliner brushes as lip brushes, the ones that are more square. I feel like you get better control. And finish off everything with MAC Fix Plus in Goldlite. This is the one that has gold shimmer in it to really amp up that glow. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It is one of my favorites. It's very glam but very summery and fresh, and the red lip, it's not really a red lip, but that lip color really brings it to life and adds a bit of an unexpected twist to it. So yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, comment, and like the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.